In this video, we go over the budget players that could enable you to fit in those premium and mid-price players that you really need in your FPL sides. Potential transfers could create some absolutely fantastic opportunities for us in the Fantasy Premier League game. All of that coming up next. What the flock is going on, and welcome to the FPL Today YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me as we go over some budget players that could help you guys out to pick your best starting 11. Now, these players, I'm not suggesting they're the most important players for you to get into your sides, but what I'm suggesting is they could sit on your bench and allow you to fit in the likes of Erling Haaland, Heung-min Son and Mohamed Salah. So in the comments down below, if you think I miss out any good budget players, please do get involved in the comments down below and let the community know about them. And also do check out, top link in the description, Fantasy Football Hub, where a lot of this data has come from. With that being said, we start off with Andreas Pereira, and just to make it clear, these stats come from his last 2 years at Flamengo, which is a club in the Brazilian league. Now, Manchester United fans do call him the pre-season Pirlo, because apparently he is amazing during pre-season and does nothing all season. But at Flamengo, he has managed 7 goals and 2 assists in the last 2 seasons there. He has also got 5 yellow cards, and we're not going to go over the stats in detail with a fine-tooth comb, because let's be fair, these players are likely to be sitting on our bench for most of the season. However, there's the chance that they do become vital parts to your starting 11 if for some reason they hit a really good vein of form. And there has been cheap players before that have become parts of starting 11s when they have really progressed as players and shown themselves to be good additions to their club and to Fantasy Premier League managers' starting team. However, we will mention how he had 1.86 shots per 90. So if he does improve on his shooting, which currently sees shots on target per 90 at 0.58, maybe we will see more goals from Andreas Pereira. Now, the fixtures won't be great if he makes his move to Fulham, and this is what will make him a viable player for us, because if he makes the move to Fulham, he's a 4.5 million player that could be a starter, and that's what we really need from our bench option. However, of course, Liverpool and Wolves as the first games for them aren't the greatest, and also you've got the likes of Arsenal and Tottenham in those first 6 fixtures, but we don't need them to have great fixtures if their job is to sit on the bench. The next option we're looking at is Leon Bailey at 5 million. Now, this comes with the caveat that he breaks into the starting 11, because of course, you're not paying 4 million or 4.5 million here. So we need him to be a little bit better than the 4 and 4.5 million pound options. However, he is a player that's come from the Bundesliga with some good form when he played at Leverkusen. So we could see someone that does convince Steven Gerrard to put him in his starting team and then could be viable for us. He got 1 goal and 2 assists last year, but that's because he did, of course, suffer from some injuries. But we have a player that had shots per 90 at 2.48 and shots on target per 90 at 0.95. The fixtures are much better for Aston Villa in the first 4, with Bournemouth, Everton, Crystal Palace and West Ham, although of course it is dovetailed by Arsenal and Man City as game week 5 and 6. But if Leon Bailey can beat the likes of Coutinho and Buendia into the starting 11 at Aston Villa, he could also find his way into our FPL sides. The next player we're looking at is Brandon Williams, who Manchester United are actively looking to sell for 10 million. Now, there have been some clubs interested, as far as I can remember off the top of my head, because I don't have it written down somewhere. I believe Nottingham Forest were looking at him, but I think they might have also got Nico Williams, so I might have been confusing that. However, Brandon Williams, if he does make a move to a club that will start him, could be a great shout for our starting squads. Now, he only got 1 assist last season and got 8 yellow cards, which is something we have to take note of, and the stats aren't great here. However, if he does make a move to someone like Nottingham Forest, we could see fixtures like Newcastle, West Ham, Everton and Bournemouth as his starting fixtures. But again, at the moment, and I think he's just suffered an injury, he could be stuck at Man United if no clubs take interest. And he hasn't gone on pre-season tour with Manchester United either because of that, which may or may not help with his transfer. Next up is a player I've been looking forward to going into a little bit more detail about, and it's Denilson Under, who joined Brighton during the January transfer window and was loaned back to his club in the Belgian league. Now, as we look at these stats, we have to remember that he did get these stats in the Belgian league, and to be honest, the conversion over of form isn't always that reliable. However, he is a striker that got 25 goals and 9 assists last season that is coming in at 5.5 million on the FPL game. We also can see that he had goals and assists per 90 at 1.06 and shots per 90 at 4.03, with shots on target per 90 at 1.72, and Brighton can have good patches of form. And with Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham in the first 6, I think Denilson Under could be a great player for our starting 11s, let alone our bench at 5.5 million, if he can carry that form on from the Belgian league. Moving back down to the £5 million price range, and we have Anthony Elanga, who of course has to break his way into the starting team for Erik ten Hag to be of value to us. But last season he did get quite a bit of game time and got 2 goals and 2 assists, and also at 1.56 shots per 90, could be a player that has some value for us in the FPL game. Now, of course, we need Man United to improve as a side for this really to be worth it, because again, he comes in at 5 million, so he needs to break into that side, and that side need to be playing decently for us to really go up from the £4.5 million midfielders. So it's a wait and see on Anthony Elanga, but again, pre-season might help us with our decisions on this player. And then finally, the guy that's made it into every single one of my drafts so far, Pedro Neto, who is at 5.5 million because of his injury last season. Now, this injury has meant that he is potentially not the player he once was before he got that injury. But last season, 1 goal and 1 assist, giving him shots per 90, 3.28. And he also got 23 crosses in very limited game time. More importantly, the season before, he just looked like a player that was taken to the Premier League very well and could be an important part to Wolves' season this year. And with the likes of Fulham and Bournemouth in the first 6, I think Pedro Neto is someone you can take a punt on until maybe a better 5.5 million option does make itself clear. However, I think Pedro Neto could be that option from the very, very beginning. And that is it for this video. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button because it does seriously help the channel out. And also get involved in the comments down below if you have any other players to suggest, as well as subscribing if you want to stay up to date with videos on FPL today. Also, feel free to check out Fantasy Football Hub if you want to get more articles, more information, OPTA stats and fixture tickers. All of that is there, top link in the description. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.